Greetings everyone and welcome to the wettest dream comparison for any 35-year-old man with belly and gray hair and unhappy marriage. Mercedes W140 versus BMW E38. Before we start, my subscribers know that I am a huge fan of W140 and I am in love with this car since the first day I was born. But I promise my dear viewer I will make honest comparison and my love to W140 will not corrupt me and I will not be like bad politicians stealing money and spending it on penis enhancement and ass depilation procedures. Let's start from design. In 1991, Mr. Bruno Sacco presented his creation to the world, and today this car looks luxurious, desirable, respectable, and of course very stylish. Design is simple and at the same time it's very priceless. For some reason, Bruno Sacco criticized his own creation. For him, W140 design was too square. He even said that there are too many straight lines and he didn't like that. But for true Mercedes lovers, this shape is as holy as mother's milk to an infant baby. This huge and bulk car was surprisingly more aerodynamic than BMW E38. The drag coefficient of W140 is 0.30 and BMW E38 has 0.32. When you look at them, you would never guess that W140 is more aerodynamic than the BMW E38. For me, W140 looks magnificent, respectable, and this is the perfect car for you just to look at and enjoy the process. Design of E38 took much less time to develop and certainly less money than W140, but the outcome was incredible. BMW E38 was ready in 1992, 1 year after the W140 release, and car looked like it was 20 years ahead of their main competitor. Interesting fact that always makes me laugh is that BMW did not even consider mighty W140 as car that they need to worry about. And E38 was ready in 1992 as I said before, but they held the release date because they were worried about Lexus LS. Yes, the Lexus LS sales numbers were very good, but it was a very weird car to worry about. Design of BMW E38 was so good that many car lovers fell in love with this car at the first sight. And till today, many consider this car to be the most beautiful luxurious sedan ever made. Doug DeMiro is one of them. BMW road to this excellence was not easy. During design process, one of the designers killed his 33-year-old son and went to prison for 33 months, and he was one of the main designers. Engineer department and design department were always disagreeing on everything and could not get along. And from all that chaos and mess came this beautiful, passionate, luxurious sedan. BMW E38 is a big car from the 90s and it looks smooth, sexy, and it is planted very low to the ground. And all this look is not modified by somebody, this look it came from the factory. If this car was man, he would be deported from every country because of his handsome looks. If this car had OnlyFans, it would destroy internet at the first upload of the video. If this car was female detective, she would have solved 1000 cases in few seconds with all the confessions from the male perpetrators. E38 is not just a car that looks good, it is art on wheels. Despite my love for W140, E38 wins in design department. Tell me in the comments which one is your favorite and tell me which one do you think is more beautiful and eye-pleasing. Interior of W140 is more spacious. When you sit in W140 behind the wheel, you are very relaxed. You are so relaxed that you will never leave and never have any stress in your life. You are not in a hurry. Even if you're late, you don't care. Space in front and in the back of the interior is enough for ride or drag race. The car is very spacious and you love this air and smell in the car. You just enjoy it. Excellent factory audio system from W140 is so good that your ears always sexually aroused when you turn on the music. Engine works so smooth and you don't feel it. When you accelerate, you don't feel the engine at all. You think to yourself that this engine is not cooled by antifreeze, but it's cooled with the tears of dolphin drops. The same feeling is experienced by the passengers at the back. Just driving this car is a very pleasant and relaxed process. that calms you down at any meltdown that you ever have. Every meter you enjoy it. It's like a therapy that works and it's not expensive. And you don't feel that you were ripped off after the session. Your heartbeat is slower, you inhale air with less resistance. Everything is so classy and royal when you're behind the wheel of W140. You do feel like king in a perfectly sustainable luxury castle that is safe and quiet. Interior of BMW E38 is very different from W140. Dashboard and door card and all other interior parts are slightly looking at you and waiting for your command, like a loyal simp waiting for his command from Dungeon Queen. As in W140, you have the same luxury feeling like you're in a W140. You are surrounded by excellent leather and wood and coziness and again luxury. But in E38, the dashboard is a little bit close to you and the glove department is a little bit higher, and you do feel not so spacious as in W140, and you do not feel completely relaxed. You're willingly more interested in the driving process, much more in E38 than in W140. You are actually waiting for the road to have more corners and more space for acceleration, and you want to feel that grip from the tires. I think if I demonstrate this video, you will understand what I'm talking about. This is me driving different W140s. I'm laying back, relaxed, my eyes are barely opened, I touch steering wheel very gently, I'm driving like I have royal blood in me. And I slightly touch steering wheel, and I'm very calm and happy, and I have no care in the world. You see, I'm way back on the seat is hugging me, and I don't care about anything. I don't even care about that I have to speak on the camera because I'm making a review. And this is me driving BMW E38. I'm always on edge of driving like a lunatic. I'm waiting for the corners, I'm waiting for the space in the traffic to overtake everybody. My eyes are wider than eyes of a lion before he kills his prey. I can feel the blood of other drivers driving in the traffic. I'm thirsty for burnt rubber and huge oil and fuel consumption. I'm hugging steering wheel with my fat body because I'm overexcited. I'm not even relaxed in the seat way down. I'm almost standing inside of the interior. This is how tense I am because I want to drive it really aggressive. You can drive this car slow, and eventually you will drive it slow when you get bored of being the road psychopath, and this feeling will disappear, but it will never disappear forever. This feeling will suddenly bite your ass at least once a month, and again you will turn into this crazy psychopath behind the wheel. But during other 29 days in the month you will drive peacefully and safe, and you will feel like you're almost sitting in W140. Under hood we have powerful and reliable engines. Mercedes engines were more reliable engines, especially the straight six. If you will maintain both of the Mercedes and BMW engines, both of them will serve you for a long time. BMW had many different V8s and all of them were not very powerful, and they had less power than Mercedes V8s. The biggest power difference was of course in V12 engines. Mercedes 6-liter V12 M120 developed 405 brake horsepower and 580 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 would happen in 6.3 seconds. If you get lucky, you will get 6 seconds time in 0 to 100 kilometers. 5.0-liter BMW V12 developed only 326 brake horsepower and 490 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 was in 6.7 seconds thanks to the more sophisticated 5-speed gearbox. All engines from BMW were a little bit underpowered in my opinion, but they were much more aggressive and the power delivery was very sharp and the throttle response was much faster than in any Mercedes engine. Many say that BMW E38 engines were much less reliable than W140, and I would disagree about that. The main difference between BMW engines and Mercedes engines is the maintenance. If you do not maintain properly BMW engines, they will die very fast. If you do not maintain properly Mercedes engines, they will not die so fast, but eventually they will die. I saw engines with 400, 500,000 kilometers in BMW that were properly maintained and they were tight as a drum. I have a review of one BMW E38 with 400 plus thousand kilometers on its odometer. Link is below. Both of those wonderful cars are made in the same country and they compete in the same segment, but they are very different. Completely opposite vision of luxury and perception of what is driving is clearly demonstrated in both of those cars. For me, BMW has better looks, drives much more sharper and more exciting than W140, and it looks more futuristic. And it was more futuristic. When it came out, E38 had more functions and more features than W140, like individual setting of lighting, the door locking, GPS system. Also it had flashlight that could be charged from the car, and many other insane creations that Mercedes had after 2-3 years. Both of them are perfect, and both of them obtain recreational and healing powers that can erase all your sins and sins of your loved ones when they sit inside of this car. Personally, for me, I think E38 is a much better car for driving. And if this comparison was in the 90s and if I was a successful businessman, I would buy BMW. And in the 90s, W140 sold 100,000 units more than the BMW. And even with this huge gap, I would choose BMW if I was again a businessman in the 90s. But my heart belongs to the W140, and as soon as I will have spare cash, I'm buying W140. And it's very sad that for every 10 W140s that I see on the road, I see only one BMW E38. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this video, which one is your favorite, and take care and bye bye.